So while I'm on this, well, I don't want to call it a vortex, but certainly going to call it a multiple zero. I'm doing some gear changes, and I want to just kind of go over this. I will do a final loadout when I'm done, but for now, let's just go over a couple things. Number one, what did I add? What did I add? Okay. Well, no, that's not really an addition. It's a replacement. So I got rid of this stuff sack, which has holes in it. It's the one I got with my duplex for this brand new shiny one. So I needed it because this one has, you have to look pretty closely, but there's holes in it. Holes all over the place. And because I carry it outside of the pack, especially when it's wet, I like to, keep it nice. Anyways, very noisy. Tyvek. It's going to be my ground sheet this year on the PCT because there's so much sand, and as you know, Dyneema, which is what my tent is made of, is very, very susceptible to the grinding of sand. Sand will literally destroy the bathtub floor of my tent. I need to have something underneath. And Tyvek also can be in a storm. It can be wrapped around me for some extra protection if I need to hunker down in a little corner somewhere and ride out a storm or just, survive somehow. If it's up on a mountain or whatever, that's an extra added layer of insulation, extra added layer of water protection, on and on. Stove. Okay, I got my stove back. Another hiker had it for a while. This is a much lighter version. I couldn't get the Toques. I had to get the Olicamp. I got that at Two Foot Adventures in Julian to replace my Jetboil stash. Why I did this was because my Jetboil stash, although it weighs by itself 7 ounces, with the canister, actually it's 7.6 ounces, with the canister and everything, it was almost a pound. It was like 14 ounces, whatever. This here setup with a BRS stove, little tiny mini stove, which I'm not sure is going to light up at elevation, but we're skipping some of the elevation. So, like we're skipping some of the mountains. So I can always swap back out for another stove when I need to. But for now, this is my setup. This is only 26 grams, this stove. I'm not sure what this Olicamp weighs, but I do know it's exactly the same as the equivalent Toques 750. Got a little mini Bic lighter, and of course I have a fresh canister of fuel. What else? Okay, so moving on. Removals. Let's talk about removals. These are the Grivel, not sure how to pronounce that, micro spikes. I've been carrying them for a while now. They're very heavy. They're almost a pound by themselves. Getting rid of them. I'm going to send them up to Kennedy Meadows from Meadow. Sorry, Kennedy Meadows. So because I'll need them for my ascent up into the Sierras. Another thing that's leaving the bag are these snowshoes. Again, I think they're Grivel. These are, again, about 12 ounces, 13 ounces. These are going to be going up north to Kennedy Meadows for the ascent. I will not need them in the flat desert sections, so there's no point carrying all that extra weight. Okay, let's talk about a replacement that I'm making. I have been using these. These are mini groundhogs. Great steaks, not so great in the sand. In fact, they're kind of terrible in the sand. I cannot pitch a tent without putting rocks on them. Now, I'm not saying that the replacements aren't going to need rocks, but I am saying they're going to hold just a little bit better. These are the titanium V-shape. As you can see, it's the V-shape tent stake. I'm going to try these. They're much lighter than these. They're titanium as opposed to aluminum. I got a new stuff sack for them just because I want to keep things nice and tidy and neat. I'm not going to send these off just yet. I'm going to keep them on me for at least another 100 miles. I just want to test these. For some reason, I do not trust these. So that's all I'm saying. I'm going to try these out and see how they work. Oh, and by the way, I should add that I am actually saving 51 grams, almost 2 ounces here, just in this switch alone. These add up. These little things add up. Okay, and now a possible addition. Well, I should say replacement. This is the liner I've been using. This is a Sea to Summit liner. It's a liner that adds 25 degrees of warmth. I wish this would stop so it didn't make noise. It adds 25 degrees of warmth. I'm not sure that's enough. I've got one of two choices. Either I send out for a 10-degree quilt, and I don't use a liner, or I keep this liner with the 10-degree, or I keep the 20-degree liner I have and get a fleece liner that is good to up to 35 degrees. It's a much warmer liner. When I get into the Sierras, I'm going to have to deal with this. For now, I can send this up trail. This liner can go up trail, along with other things like my snowshoes, my spikes over there. These can all go up trail. I do not need to carry all this stuff through the heat, and it'll be 70, 80, 90 degrees. So, yeah, I'm trying to be smart about this, you know? So in closing, here's what's going on. I'm basically getting rid of 2.3 pounds of base weight. And I'm at the same time adding possibly another 6 ounces for warmth at night, you know, via my sleep system. I have not visited yet the pad situation. I want to talk for a second about pads. This is a big mistake a lot of these hikers are making out here right now. It's possibly just because they haven't figured it out yet. It's not because they don't know. They know this stuff. They'll figure it out. But what's going on is a lot of times people are overcompensating for thermals, for clothing. They're overcompensating with a sleep system, but only the top part of their sleep system. People think that because they have a sleeping bag that sits underneath them, part of it, that it's keeping them warmer from the ground. Most of this right now temperature loss, I should say, heat loss, is due to the ground. So guys that you're hiking, please have a look at your pad. Your pad is the biggest part of your comfort. Carrying a pad like an X-Therm, Max-Therm, whatever they're called, I'm not sure, the gray one, in fact, can go a long way to saving you both weight and giving you comfort at the same time. This is why right now I'm considering getting an X-Therm, dumping the 1 pound liner. Now the X-Therm is only 3 ounces heavier than my Thermarest Neo Air X Lite. But I'm cold at night. It's the ground that's cold still. This won't be an issue up in the flat desert, but when I get back up in the Sierras, I'm going to revisit this and possibly dump everything underneath me. Keep the quilt, get the X-Therm, get rid of the liner. I use a quilt, so I don't have anything underneath me. It's not insulating me in any ways, but it's more, your comfort at night is more about the pad you use than what's above, whether it's a sleeping bag or a liner. So that's it. That's all I got.